You are watching the Idaho Veterans Parade, sponsored by Albertsons.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to really a beautiful morning here in Boise. We could not ask for better weather. It is nice and dry, not too cold. I'm Maggie O'Mara. This is the Idaho Veterans Parade, and we are so excited to be here for you to bring this to you live. This is sponsored by the Idaho Veterans Parade Committee and our presenting sponsor, Albertsons.
We're all really excited to be here. I'm Justin Korn, alongside me,
Carson Spear, Executive Director of the Warhawk Air Museum.
Yes.
Again,
And
it's going to be a great parade, great morning. Oh, yeah. Sorry, Maggie.
Joe Paris is going to be live for us along the parade route this morning as well. He's part of our parade team. We're so happy to be here today, but we have a lot coming your way.
Really a cast of thousands out here.
Yes.
This year's parade commemorates the 2024 full deployment of the 116th Cavalry Brigade Combat Team to Iraq. It is the largest formation of the Idaho Army National Guard and is headquartered, of course, up at Gowan Field.
Yes.
We'd like to thank all of our sponsors for today's parade. Really, all of this couldn't happen without them, so thank you.
And now we are proud to announce Colonel Dean Hagerman to kick off the opening ceremony for the Idaho Veterans Parade.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Dean Hagerman, retired Idaho Army National Guard. Welcome to the 22nd Idaho Veterans Parade. Please rise for the presentation of the colors and remain standing for the invocation by Captain Chaplain Father Osorio of the 124th Fighter Wing, Idaho Air National Guard, and the singing of the national anthem by Air Force and Army veteran Fred Webb, Commander, American Legion Post 39. Hoist the colors.
Oh, say, can you see high the dawn's early light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please feel free to pray in your own tradition as I pray in mine. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with gratitude, remembering with honor the men and women who have served our nation in the armed forces. We give thanks to their courage, dedication, and willingness to make great sacrifices for the freedoms we enjoy. Their commitment to defend justice and peace is a statement to their deep love for this country and for humanity. On this day, we ask you to bless all veterans, those who have returned home and those who have made the ultimate sacrifice. Comfort the families of those who have lost loved ones in service and give strength to those who continue to bear the physical, emotional, and spiritual wounds of war. Inspire us, Lord, to work ceaselessly for a world where peace reigns and conflict and war are no longer necessary. Through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brigadier General Alan C. Gayhart, retired, Idaho Army National Guard.
Distinguished guests, fellow citizens, and most importantly, the veterans who have served and protected this great nation, welcome. Today we will honor all veterans and remember those veterans of the 116th Brigade Combat Team who answered our nation's call to duty in Iraq. As I reflect back on the dark and threatening times following the deadly attack on our nation on 9/11, I remember the cloud of uncertainty and fear that enveloped throughout our nation. But I also remember the patriotism and unity that brought all Americans together to face the challenges threatening our nation. Initially, the citizen soldiers of the brigade prepared to execute a large-scale, short-notice training rotation to the National Training Center in California. However, the brigade quickly changed course when it received alert orders in early 2004 notifying the soldiers of the impending mobilization to Iraq in preparation for Operation Iraqi Freedom 3. The brigade quickly bonded together and formed as a brigade combat team of over 4,300 soldiers with vehicles and equipment necessary to meet the challenging task of mobilizing, training, and deploying. First to Fort Bliss, Texas for training, then to Fort Polk, Louisiana for a mission rehearsal exercise, and then onward to their ultimate destinations in the various forward operating bases in the provinces of Kirkuk and Somalia, Iraq. During the long 18-month deployment, soldiers of the brigade achieved a place in history by being a part of the largest deployment of troops in Idaho, Oregon, and Montana history. Consisting of soldiers from over 15 states, the soldiers of the brigade achieved results in Iraq that no unit, active or reserve, before or after, were able to achieve. Fighting an insurgency that had no value on human life, they utilized the unique qualities and expertise of citizen soldiers to achieve the success in a full spectrum of combat and stability operations. Dealing with the volatile ethnic, religious, tribal factions, and cultural differences within the two provinces, they excelled in their ability to engage and help the Iraqi people while fighting insurgents bent on death and destruction. There was a reason that the 116th Brigade was selected to serve in this massive area of over 10,000 square miles and 3 million people. The combination of their military and civilian skills and capabilities were those needed in this troublesome area. They quickly found common ground with the Iraqi citizens who desired safety, security, and economic growth for their families and their nation. It was clear that these warriors were the best suited to fight not only the insurgents in combat, but as citizen soldiers, they were instrumental in the establishment of government, civic, economic, agricultural, and other functions critical to the peace and prosperity in this area. They ensured that the insurgents were unable to prevent Iraqis from conducting their first democratic election, followed by a successful vote in a constitutional referendum. The warriors of the 116th were so successful in mentoring and assisting the Iraqis in rebuilding their country in this region that their own State Department used the work of the brigade's warriors as a model for future reconstruction and development operations. I know that I am joined with all members of the brigade in thanking each of the states for their support of this brigade. Military, government leaders, employers, and individual citizens from Idaho, Oregon, Montana, North Dakota, Utah, and numerous other states were awesome in not only their display of support for the soldier, but for the care and concern for the soldiers' families. No brigade had more support from home than did the 116th. The states overwhelmingly supported requests for items needed by the Iraqi citizens, from clothing, school supplies, to soccer balls and toys for children. Every request was filled, sometimes overwhelming the ability to ship the large quantities of items they donated. The brigade had perhaps the greatest team of units any commander could have wished for. Proficient and battle-hardened infantrymen, cavalrymen, artillerymen, air defenders, airmen, engineers, intelligence specialists, and an awesome team of civil support specialists with their civilian skills, and highly capable staffs. The backbone of the brigade was the best logistical and support battalion within the Guard and the Army, with their superior transportation, maintenance, and medical units that overcame every logistical challenge to fully support the needs of the brigade's units and soldiers. This was a winning combination that achieved results no one anticipated a National Guard brigade could accomplish in combat. These great units and remarkable soldiers of the brigade clearly marked their place in history with their achievements. However, the overwhelming of the success of the brigade was not without sacrifice. We should never forget Mark Warren, Robbie McNary, Kevin Davis, Thomas Kaiser, John Ogburn, Virgil Case, Kerry French, Travis Neal, Ronald Wood, Travis Arndt, and Donnie Hamilton. the 11 fallen soldiers who paid the ultimate price of freedom. And we should always remember and support those returning warriors who bear the physical and mental wounds of combat. I know them joined with other Americans who are extremely proud and humbled by the service of the great soldiers and families of the 116th Brigade Combat Team. Their sacrifice and service to our nation is an inspiration to every American, and we are forever thankful for their patriotism and dedication to duty. Today's 116th Cavalry Brigade Combat Team continues this proud lineage of trained and competent soldiers, combining their combat and civilian skills that mold the team into a relevant and ready force to meet the future needs of our state and nation. God bless each of you, and God bless and protect this great country. Thank you.
Chaplain Osorio will now give the benediction.
Merciful Father, as we also remember those currently serving, we ask for your protection over them. Grant them wisdom, courage, and the assurance of your presence. May they be surrounded by support and love, and may never forget the value of their sacrifice. May we honor our veterans not only with words today, but with our actions in promoting justice, equality, and freedom for all. Amen.
Parade the colors.
Right, red, march.
the 25th Army Band under the command of Chief Warrant Officer 3 Shad Frazier. The Army Band, the only military band in Idaho. They are fantastic. It was originally organized in the fall of 1925, Justin.
Well, what an incredible way to start that parade, as Carson was just talking about inspiring messages, and now we have the Grand Marshal right here.
Yes, we do, and this is very special. This is Grand Marshal Major General Michael Garshak. He is retired now, and the Command Sergeant Major Alice Mapes as well. Major General Michael J. Garshak is the now retired Adjutant General of Idaho, the Commanding General of the Idaho National Guard. He retired in June of this year. He is appointed by the governor and has command over the state's Army and Air National Guard units, as well as all other entities within the Idaho Military Division. And Governor Butch Otter appointed him as the Adjutant General in November of 2017. And there you go. That is Grand Marshal Major General Michael Garshak.
Fantastic. Carson next to me still handing out salutes as these generals go by. They salute him. It's like, oh, and there's your flyover.
Very cool to see the Blackhawks coming out today. It's a great day in Idaho.
Sure is. Tell us about these Blackhawks, Carson.
Ooh, I got to fly on them several times in Iraq. It's always nice to be up in the air and not having to worry about IEDs on the ground. We're appreciative of our aviation brothers and sisters in arms.
Fantastic. Of course, all this not possible without our sponsors. Our friend Joe standing by right now with Albertson's Intermountain Division President, John Coldgrove. Joe.
All right, it appears Joe's having some issues with his microphone, so we'll get back to him. But really, the turnout here for this incredible day honoring our veterans is just spectacular. People have lined the streets, families, kids, moms and dads, grandparents, of course, our veterans, who we are so grateful for today. This is our day to honor them. Carson, what does it mean to veterans to have a day like this set aside to them where we are honoring them with this parade?
I think it's so important with how divisive the country's got. It's just such a great place to live here in Idaho, and the patriotism and the support, it means a lot to our veterans and their families.
Carson, what's driving in front of us right here?
This is the Bradley fighting vehicle. I actually got to go through Bradley Commander's course at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. They've got a 25 Mike Bushmaster cannon up on the turret and a 7.62 coaxial mounted machine gun, primarily for deploying troops into combat.
Wow. I don't know at all what all those numbers mean, but they sound impressive. What's up next here?
Then we've got the M1 Abrams. This thing's got like a Cadillac suspension on it compared to the Bradley. Fires a 120 millimeter main gun cannon. Very impressive piece of machinery.
Absolutely very impressive. You said that thing's a Cadillac?
It's very comfortable, surprisingly, to ride in. It is.
Really?
A lot better than being out in the rain, I tell you.
Great way to beat traffic as well.
Yeah, commuter rig.
Yes. Well, today, Carson, we are honoring the 116th, and we need to mention it is our state's largest unit. The brigade is located in more than 20 Idaho communities and across 4 states.
So impressive to have these citizen soldiers that do so much for our country, and this deployment was really unlike anything we've ever seen. To go from their jobs as plumbers and electricians to going to a combat deployment, multiple combat deployments, is very impressive.
And we are so grateful for their service.
I think that's a really important point, Carson. Absolutely. These are really citizen soldiers. You know, these are guys who are maybe, you know, a contractor helping out with your plumbing or anything like that. And then, you know, if they get the call, they have to go overseas and help fight for our freedoms.
It actually helped them accomplish their mission, as the general just referenced, because they were rebuilding infrastructure and taking care of the community over there. So they brought to bear these civilian skill sets and were hugely successful.
What we're looking at right now, the U.S. Marine Corps 4th Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion Charlie Company coming down the parade route. The Marine Forces Reserve, the largest command in the Corps, has 4 major subordinate commands. And just incredible to look at these machines as well. Carson, tell us about them.
The LAV, the light armor vehicle. These guys are right here in Gowan. They're Marines. This vehicle actually became the model for the Stryker in the U.S. Army to get us better up-armored capabilities in the global war on terror. Very impressive, very light, very fast.
Yeah, that's incredible that's a light vehicle in the military, but absolutely very capable. And that's another great point, that the Marines are out at Gowan. You have so many different branches of the military represented out there at Gowan Field. A lot of attention to the Guard, obviously, as is deserved, but all sorts of people protecting our freedoms stationed out there at Gowan. Joe looks like he's ready now. Joe?
Yes, okay. So we'll try this again, this time with batteries. Yeah. John Coldgrove with Albertsons, one of the presenting sponsors here of the Idaho Veterans Parade. John, why do you guys be a part of this every year?
You know, it's such an honor to be a member of this, right? And to be here today too, right? And it's really our opportunity as Albertsons and all of our associates to say thank you to our veterans and to all of their families. It's such an honor to be here.
You know, Albertsons is such a big part of the Treasure Valley, the state of Idaho, our whole community. I know you guys work very often with veterans. What does it mean to see the community out here lining the street and saying thank you, just like Albertsons is?
Yeah, you know, it's just, you have to be here to see it and to feel it, right? It just feels so good. It feels so warm. To know that all of these veterans really make our country safe. We live in the greatest place in the world today, and it's really because of what our veterans do for us to keep us safe, and to the families, right? The families give so much to that too. And just our opportunity to tell them thank you and to be here to feel this is wonderful.
And I know you and I were remarking a few minutes ago at the helicopters flying over. It never gets old, and it's such a reminder of the freedoms that our men and women are defending.
Yeah, you know, it really is. To just watch that alone is worth coming down here, right? And then look at the excitement in here. Joe, I wish everybody was down here to say thank you to our veterans.
Yes, and if you haven't come out to this parade, there is still time. By the way, we're just in front of the Capitol on Jefferson. John Colgrove with Albertsons, thank you as always. We appreciate what you and Albertsons do for the community. Maggie, Justin, we'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Joe. What we're looking at right now is the Boise State University ROTC and the Bora High School JR OTC working together here, marching down the parade route.
Junior high, high school, college students as well, part of this ROTC. My son has a friend in there somewhere from Bora, already preparing to go help defend our country.
And West Point, the Parents Club coming down the parade route right now.
That is a 501c3 nonprofit organization. They provide online communications infrastructure that enables graduates, parents, and friends of the military academy to maintain and strengthen the associations that bind us all together.
And we also
That is
just
awesome.
saw the Southern Idaho chapter of the U.S. Naval Academy Alumni Association as well. The USS Boise coming right now. Coming down the parade route, as you can see.
That is a model of the USS Boise, a nuclear fast attack submarine, not to scale. It's a bit smaller than the actual one, I'm told. That submarine currently in service in the fleet. That an impressive vehicle as well.
So cool to see all these folks out here. You know, the Boise State Army ROTC program, that was Lieutenant Colonel Mike Kinzel leading the charge. They do so much in the community. That was me 20 years ago commissioning through ROTC.
It was.
So it's an honor to see them out here today.
20 years ago? Were you in that at like 5 years old?
I was 23 in Iraq as a first lieutenant.
Wow, Carson, incredible. Well, right now the Skyview Marching Band is coming down the parade route. It's so wonderful to see our young people involved in our Veterans Parade. So let's go ahead and take a listen.
Take a quick break and we'll be right back with the Idaho Veterans Parade.
The 2024 Idaho Veterans. You're watching a KTVB special presentation in honoring all Armed Forces veterans. This is the 2024 Idaho.
You are watching the Idaho Veterans Parade, sponsored by Albertsons. You are watching the Idaho Veterans Parade, sponsored by Albertsons.
Now I hear you.
Welcome back to the Idaho Veterans Parade. Look at this in front of us, a scaled-down M4 Sherman tank.
It's not
Amazing.
quite on the screen yet.
Yeah.
Right now we have the Boise
It's too
Police
small.
Department Honor Guard joining us. This was established to represent the Boise Police Department and the citizens of Boise at police, funerals, parades, and other really important ceremonial occasions. It's their intention to help all officers and their families during a time of duress, and that's what you were looking at there. And now, Justin, there's that tiny little scaled down.
I jumped on that. Yes, sorry. Anytime I see something adorable like that, I got to call it out. But yes, the Boise Police Department Honor Guard really doing important work and honoring people and helping them through those moments.
And now we have the
gaining
Gold
attention, yeah.
Star families coming down the parade route. So important. This is the chapter of the American Gold Star Mothers, the Idaho Star Garnet chapter. And Eagle Physical Therapy back again partnering with them for their float down the parade route.
The mission of the Gold Star Mothers to find strength in the fellowship of other Gold Star mothers, strive to keep the memory of our sons and daughters alive by working to help veterans, those currently serving in the military, their families, and our communities.
And now we have the Military Order of the Purple Heart down the parade route, as you can see here. Headquartered just outside Washington, D.C. It has a membership of approximately 45,300 veterans. And what's so unique is that its members are exclusively men and women who've received the Purple Heart while serving. And right now, let's go to Joe and check in with him.
Yes, we're going to see a lot of cool vehicles like this one today. Sir, who are you with? How do you find yourself down at the Idaho Veterans Parade?
We're the Disabled American Veterans Department of Idaho, and we are here to support our veterans, and we enjoy the parade.
What does it mean to you to have so many people watching at home and all the people lining the streets to come say thank you to our veterans here?
That's a good question. It's huge, and we just appreciate the support we get and grateful for all the support.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for what you guys do. Maggie, Justin, we'll send it back to you.
Fantastic, Joe. Appreciate that. DAV really out there ensuring access to benefits for veterans. A lot of what they do, outreach programs as well, making sure veterans, especially disabled veterans, know what's available to them and those programs for them out there.
I am a member of the DAV, and they do a great job providing access.
Oh, that is fantastic. I mean, talking about making sacrifices, we're going to talk a lot about that today. That's really one of those where you come back home and you're going to have some challenges. The DAV is there to make sure you understand how you can be helped with government programs to help you overcome those challenges back at home.
So important. Outreach programs. They do everything they can for advocacy, community engagement, volunteer programs. And Carson, you know all about that.
It's a great time to be a veteran. You know, we didn't have this for the Vietnam veterans. It was a much different time. And now there are so many veteran service organizations in the VA and places like the Warhawk that bring joy to our veterans. So we are grateful to the DAV and these other groups.
There you just saw us pass by the Idaho State Veterans Home. Veterans reside at the Idaho State Veterans Home. Excited to be here supporting their fellow veterans. That is awesome. Now I believe we have the Boise Valley POW MIA Corporation. They're a nonprofit dedicated to public awareness of the prisoner of war missing in action issue. They reflect the highest possible personal and professional standards associated with that, guided and directed by the National League of
And
POW
here they are,
MIA.
yes, on their motorcycles coming down the route. You can hear them from miles away.
Yeah, you hear them before you see them coming. That is awesome.
They're so proud, and we are so grateful to have them here today.
Look at that old U.S. Army Harley. My goodness. Beautiful vehicles, yeah. I don't know what's more impressive, these bikes or the tanks before. Probably the tanks, but
Probably
still
the
these are all.
That's the sound of freedom right there.
That's right,
That's
absolutely.
right. And there are so many of them. They're just going to continue to come down the parade route. Carson, tell us about the amazing things happening at the Warhawk Air Museum for our veterans.
Oh my gosh, we've got so many things coming up. Next Saturday, 8 a.m., Veterans Breakfast, $5 to get in. Shields donated a $1,500 spotting scope. So come get a chance to win that, have a patriotic program, some camaraderie out at the Warhawk.
Boy, I was out there just a couple months ago as the Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association rolls on by. The Lucky Deuces. I was out there at the Warhawk just a couple months ago, and it's incredible. You certainly have the stories of our military and the combat and the wars that you've heard before, but you get to hear really personal stories of Idaho veterans.
You do. The mission is to educate our visitors on the cost of freedom and honor those that paid its price. And you see the cool airplanes and the track vehicles, but it's really about the personal stories of bravery.
And this is the Vietnam Veterans of America, Chapter 1025. They're dedicated to help local Treasure Valley veterans in need through financial assistance, emotional support. Joe is along the parade route for us.
All right, yes, we're with the Vietnam Veterans of America. Tell me about this rig you're driving. This is pretty sweet.
This is a 1944 Ford Jeep, and we use this in the parades for the Vietnam veterans. And our group does nothing but raise funds around the valley, and we help local veterans and their families in need.
And what does it mean to have the people out here on the streets cheering on veterans like the Vietnam vets here?
Well, this is really cool. I just noticed they're clapping more for us than anybody else that's gone by, so that's good.
That's great.
I like that, yes.
Awesome. All right, the Vietnam Veterans of America, thank you for the work you guys do. Justin, Maggie, we'll send it back to you.
The challenge was issued, the gauntlet thrown down. He says, we're getting the most cheers, but it really is incredible to see, especially the Vietnam veterans, getting cheered like that. They came home to a lot of times, unfortunately, a very different welcome than what they're getting here today.
And we are certainly trying to make up for that today.
Absolutely.
Welcome home.
Kuna High School Air Force Junior ROTC coming down the parade route right now. There they are in blue. The Kuna High School Air Force Junior ROTC program follows what is arguably one of the most successful and significantly impactful youth-oriented programs in American history.
They're followed by Hewlett-Packard Veterans Business Resource Group. They're in the parade this year. Their mission is to support the veteran community in the Treasure Valley. Their mission to honor those who serve and to recognize those who support.
And up next, the Simplot Military Alliance Employee Resource, the resource group from the J.R. Simplot Company here. The mission is to be a partner with the company to promote a culture of diversity and inclusion through continual learning, and their purpose is to foster a military veteran-friendly environment there at Simplot. Simplot is a sponsor of the parade today, along with St. Luke's. Let's talk about them as well.
Absolutely, another sponsor. Just incredible. Again, this parade wouldn't be possible without our fine sponsors there. Veterans Employee Resource Group, created for the interest of employees who actively serve or served in the military, Coast Guard, Naval, and Air Service. Again, thank you for your sponsorship of the Idaho Veterans Parade. We'll see you again right here at the Idaho Veterans Parade after the break. Welcome back to the Idaho Veterans Parade here in downtown Boise. You are seeing and listening to the Middleton High School Marching Band, home of the Vikings. And they were playing while I was talking, and now they've sort of slowed down. I was going to let them play, but oh, look at the moves of the band there with that brass.
Yes.
That's not easy to do.
No, it isn't. Keeping them warm, though, along this route, that's for sure. Let's listen in. It's so special to have the high school marching bands and bands just coming out here to play for our veterans today. It means a lot. It really does.
Yeah, showing their patriotism, their support, and their understanding for the kind of sacrifices, again, that our veterans have made for all of us.
The Wyakin Foundation joining us right now, a nonprofit based out of Boise that comes alongside our veterans pursuing education as they transition into civilian careers, they reach success as they define it. This is done through mentorship, professional development, community impact projects, educational and emergency grants. They like to network, and they have an alumni program too called Wyakin for Life. To learn more, go to wyakin.org. Just an amazing organization right there.
Great organization. They do a lot for veterans in the community.
Yeah, absolutely, Carson. I mean, if you can talk about that, veterans, again, give so much. They're overseas, sometimes really seeing some terrible things. They come back home, and really, how important is that support from other veterans?
Yeah, you've got to have the networking. You've got to build your resume, translate it into civilian terms, help find those jobs, project management certification, cybersecurity. There's a lot of things out there, and groups like Mission 43 and the Wyakin Foundation do a nice job with that.
And this is the Veterans and the Patriots Association coming down the route right now, a community-based organization comprised of veterans and patriots from all walks of life. There they go with the big horn, honk honk. The chapters work within our local communities, and they seek others with a similar mission of just honoring our veterans and making them feel as special as they are.
Mm-hmm. And support as well, again, letting them know the resources out there. Let's go to Joe now, talking to the Marine Corps.
All right, yes, we're on the parade route with some of our friends from the Marine Corps. Tell me who you are and how you find yourself today.
Jack Cunningham, live in Boise here, and I'm a member of the Marine Corps League. I was the commandant last 2 years, and now I'm kind of retired.
Hey, that's all right. Here on a Saturday morning, great to be out on the parade route with you. What does the Marine Corps League do here?
We have support the young Marines. We also support St. Luke's Children's Hospital with donations, and we march in parades and try to show off the Marine Corps stuff.
All right, well, Jack, I appreciate your service. Thanks for being with us here this morning. We'll see you soon, Jack. Have a good one. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks,
Joe.
Here are the Irreverent Warriors coming down the parade route right now.
They say they know the best support network for veterans is other veterans. Out here in shorts in this kind of weather. Look,
I'm impressed.
It's warmer than we thought it was going to be, but it sure still ain't warm. Good for them.
He's got that 82nd Airborne flag, so he's jumped out of airplanes, so the cold doesn't bother him.
He could do just about anything, right?
That is incredible. More impressive motorcycles rolling by. Well, a little bit more on the Irreverent Warriors. Carson, again, as we talked about, they help with job placement, training, housing, service dogs, more. Again, really important services that veterans really need to get connected with.
And right now we have Ride for 22, such an amazing nonprofit in our community. They care so deeply and passionately about serving our nation's military and families. Their mission is to do three things, Justin: to spread awareness of PTS and educate the public, serve as a living memorial, and provide support and comfort to the loved ones who have been left behind. And they want to accomplish this mission in so many ways. They have ride events. They recruit other riders to join them in raising awareness, and they want to be visible at all of our community events to let people know they are there for you. Ride for 22.
Idaho Power rolling by right now, another proud sponsor of the Idaho Veterans Parade. Good for them, providing power all across Idaho. I guess that's why they have that name.
That's right. They have over 2,000 employees who want to say thank you to all of our veterans for their selfless service and sacrifice to our great nation. They specifically want to honor the 20th anniversary of the Idaho National Guard 116th deployment to Iraq. I can't believe it's been 20 years.
That is incredible. Up next, another sponsor of this fine parade, City Salutes Network. City, a local company based out of Meridian. City Salutes, an internal network of employees that supports the U.S. military in our community.
So many people want to be a part of this today, Carson, and it just warms the heart because our veterans are so important to us. We love them so much. We try to tell them when we see them at the supermarket or a store, thank you for your service, but today is just extra heartwarming, isn't it?
It's so cool to see communities outreach from Citibank and KeyBank, I know, is another sponsor. Albertsons does so much for the community. Really lucky to have these patriotic businesses.
This next float is on fire, intentionally though. This is Freedom Flight Incorporated, the POW MIA Hot Air Balloon Team, established in '89, their 34th year. They have 4 POW MIA balloons, 9 volunteer pilots, along with many other volunteers, and that is a nice warmth here.
And you know what? We see this balloon every year at the Spirit of Boise Balloon Classic, and everyone is so touched by it.
Yeah, really awesome. They do 60 events, apparently, around the year. One of those, Spirit of Boise, helping to educate people of the over 80,000 people still missing and the families still waiting for closure. They are doing really critical work for those families all across America.
And they are donation-based, so they take donations so they can keep on flying and spreading that awareness. And we have some radio stations also involved on the parade route. There's Bob FM joining us right now from the Iliad Media Group.
The Bob Squad, always good to see him. Now we like him even more. Candy, now we're talking. Now we're talking. I didn't get enough during Halloween. Appreciate it. I probably shouldn't have asked for
it's leftovers.
It is leftovers.
101.9 The Bull coming down the parade route. Thank you, veterans, displayed proudly on their truck.
Thank you to the Bull fans. They do great work. Up next, Mayor of Meridian, Robert Simison. Hey, Mayor.
Hi,
How's
Mayor.
it going?
There he comes down the parade route.
Another great supporter of veterans. Joe Paris might have found somebody to talk to. Joe, who'd you find? Caldwell Mayor, Jerem Wagner.
Yes, we are with the mayor of Caldwell. Jerem, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be here today.
Hey, why do you think it's so important that elected officials like yourself are out here and, supporting the community, supporting the veterans?
Oh, it's so important for all of us. You know, we are a community in the Treasure Valley, from Caldwell to Boise, everything in between. So to come out here and show our support, what all the veterans did for us, it's time for us to give back a little bit to them.
And I know how much veterans mean to the city of Caldwell. For you as the mayor, what does it mean to have so many people from across the valley here in front of the State House like this?
Oh, we love it. It's great. You know, you got the huge American flag here behind us and everything, just supporting the veterans, what they do. So proud to be out here today and say thank you to them.
Awesome. Thanks, Mayor Wagner. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Back to you guys.
Is that Mayor Wagner in a Wagoneer?
It is. I know, isn't that
I love
funny?
It.
I was
love
noticing
it.
that
I love
in a
the wordplay.
classic Wagoneer. There he is.
You know, hidden treasure out in Caldwell is the Caldwell Veterans Memorial Hall, and that is a really special place. If you have a chance, go visit it.
Where is that at? Where can people find
Just
that?
right in downtown Caldwell. It's an old historic building, but they've refurbished it and modernized it, and they have all kinds of activities there for veterans.
And I know the 4th of July festivities in Caldwell, they raised $15,000 to go to veterans programs there. So that is awesome to see. Anyone who celebrated the 4th in Caldwell, that money goes to our veterans. I love to see it.
Incredible.
Coming down the parade route right now, John Evans.
The mayor of Garden City, been mayor since '06, a veteran himself of the U.S. Army. Thank you, Mayor, for your service. Served a tour in Vietnam. Vietnam veteran, proud member of the VFW. A grandson he has who's currently on active duty as a U.S. Marine. Thank you, Mayor.
Outstanding.
For your service. Rich Sykes now, mayor of Mountain Home. Of course, a lot of military there in Mountain Home. They have the base. He's rolling down the parade route right now. A growing community out there, says project-oriented, trying to bring Mountain Home into the 21st century.
Right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be right back for more of the Idaho Veterans Parade live from downtown Boise.
You are watching the Idaho Veterans Parade, sponsored by Albertsons.
Welcome back to the Idaho Veterans Parade, rolling through downtown Boise right now in front of the beautiful Idaho State Capitol. Rolling by us a number of mayors and other elected officials. We saw Mayor Trevor Chadwick, Mayor of Star, a veteran himself, Mayor Gordon Petrie of Emmett, a veteran himself as well.
So many, and now we have the Canyon County Sheriff Kieran Donahue joining us, coming down the parade route right now in his vehicle. I think Joe is right near him. Joe is going to scooch around and try and grab an interview with the sheriff.
Yeah, we'll drive and go. All right, Sheriff, I know that it's not good to text and drive, but you can do interviews and drive during a parade. How you doing today, Sheriff?
I'm really good. This is fantastic. Good to see you.
Yes. How, I guess, important is it, do you think, for the community to come out, show their support for veterans, past and present?
This is one of the most important days we could all be involved in, right? I mean, we wouldn't have the freedoms that we all enjoy if it wasn't for the men and women that we're representing today and that we're supporting today.
And I know so many veterans called the Canyon County Police, Canyon County Sheriff's Office home. You know, what does it mean to have so many veterans on your staff?
I love having veterans on my staff, you know, and some are reserves, some are past military. We love every one of them, and I'll take anyone that want to come and join us. This is fantastic. This is what we should be doing today.
Good to see you, Sheriff. Have fun on the parade route. We'll see you around. Back to you guys.
Thank you to the sheriff. Yeah, we won't tell anyone that he was maybe distracted driving. It's fine. It's
he
fine.
is the sheriff.
He is the sheriff.
We'd have to tell him. We'd have to report him to him.
and then it's not really great. Sheriff Donahue, a founder and chairman of the Man Up Crusade, a national and international nonprofit public awareness campaign on the issue of domestic violence.
That's why they have the purple car right there with the hashtag Break the Cycle.
Absolutely. That is awesome. There's another one of their fine vehicles. Coming up next year, we got a 1919 Ford Model T. I cannot believe that is still running. Incredible.
They take good care of it, that's for sure. Oh my goodness,
Produced
look at
from
that.
08 to 1927. Again, this one made in 1919. Generally regarded as the first mass affordable automobile. I don't know if I'd be able to afford it now, though.
And this is a U.S. Air Force, Korea, and Vietnam veteran.
Wow.
Incredible. Carson, tell us about that. There's
There's not many of them left. That
Wow.
is very cool to see a Korean World War II veteran out here today. Such an honor to have him here in the parade.
It really is.
My grandfather served in Korea as well.
Mine did as well.
That's amazing. Yeah. To see him out here like this, yeah. Gets me a little misty-eyed missing him, but yeah, incredible. There's so many people in our community served in that way, have family members who served in that way. This parade really a reminder of that, the sacrifices that our neighbors, family members made for all of us in our
So
communities.
meaningful, Justin. It really is. All right, flags of freedom coming down the parade route right now. Look at all those flags. Just absolutely wonderful.
Again, a great way to thank a veteran there. You see it emblazoned on that truck as it rolls by. It's more than just a saying, more than just a motto. Yeah, they're really living it here.
Love to see the red, white, and blue. That's awesome.
Flags of freedom rolling by. Tell us a little bit more about what's going on at the Warhawk Air Museum, Carson. Again, I was out there recently. It got even bigger than the last time I was there, but you have another expansion coming up.
We do. If you haven't been in a while, come out and see us. Besides the big Veterans Breakfast next Saturday, November 9th, we are expanding and will be the first museum to have World War I through the Global War on Terror and honor our modern men and women in uniform. So a huge new expansion honoring Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, opening September 11th, 2025.
It must be so meaningful for you to be able to work there and be a part of what you all do, because it's such an incredible place to bring our children and to teach them the history of our great country and all the sacrifices that have been made for them.
It really is. John and Sue Paul, the co-founders of the museum, are some of the most patriotic people I've ever met. Education is a key pillar of the museum, and so many of the kids that come out, it's not uncommon to see a school bus out there in the morning and every afternoon. They weren't alive when September 11th happened, and so we're going to have this special place to honor our modern men and women in uniform.
It's so important to teach them all about all of that. I know with my children, they are so curious about it, and they just want to know, so many details, and it's so important to have a place to go.
Yeah, where
to
else
bring them.
in Idaho or in the world can you have a sixth grader interact with a World War II veteran? And they don't just talk about military service, which is important, but they also just get generational life leadership from these veteran interactions out there. So
and
great
so much
place.
wisdom.
Absolutely.
That is out there at the Warhawk Air Museum in Nampa. Joined now by the El Cora Shriners, some of the nobles from the El Cora Shrine, showing their support for the Shriners Hospitals for Children, Shriners Helping Kids. A lot of veterans in that organization as well.
They care so much about the kids in our community. They help so many children get the medical care they need, and we appreciate them. Job's Daughters, Bethel 48, coming down the parade route right now. They teach leadership and life skills as part of the Master Masons family, and here they are coming down the parade route. Thank you, veterans, proudly on their banner.
Good for them, and they're trying to hand us more candy. Maggie was like, no, I think we're good. All right, fine, we'll take the candy. That's just fine, can't turn it down. Yeah, just more for me to eat later.
You know, and during the commercial break, it was cool to see so much law enforcement out here. We're here for veterans today, but great to see all of our sheriffs. My brother just made captain after 20 years in law enforcement, and he's had a K-9 and done undercover narcotics, and those folks give so much for their community. It's great to see him out here supporting the veterans.
Well, congratulations to your brother.
That is
proud
awesome.
of him.
Hopefully he's not currently undercover, because if so, we have blown it. No.
Not anymore.
Okay, fantastic. Ada County Highway District rolling by us now. They serve all who walk, bike, roll, and drive throughout the 5,000 plus lane miles within Ada County, including some of the lane miles we're seeing in front of us right here. They say they're committed to creating a safe community for residents and team members through our many projects and services.
Look at this. Here comes the Idaho State Police, honoring the service and sacrifice of our veterans today, many of whom continue serving as first responders today. They've got a lot of lights and sounds coming off those cars today. And you know what? It's a beautiful sound today. Not so great when it's behind you.
No. Yeah.
But wonderful along the parade route.
Hopefully you never see a caravan of Idaho State Police vehicles like this in your rearview mirror. If so, you've really messed up.
Yes.
So, yeah, this is the way to see it, rolling by on a parade. And so many veterans currently serving, continue to serve our community, in Idaho State Police, other law enforcement agencies. They say they take pride in the exceptional work that unfolds within their organization each day. They say it's challenging to encapsulate and convey the full extent of those efforts, but they say they want to share a glimpse through a few compelling stories they've made in that impact. That is awesome, and really appreciate them supporting the Idaho Veterans Parade.
And here comes the Ada County Sheriff's Office down the parade route. As you can see, they have their black SUVs, one after the next. The Ada County Sheriff's Office is the largest law enforcement agency in the state of Idaho. They have over 800 employees dedicated to making a safer place for you to live, work, and play, and we thank you all for that.
That is awesome. Some of these dogs, not quite what to make of all these sirens and lights. They're a little, should I be barking loudly at all this? But they're good. A lot of people bringing their pups out today to the Idaho Veterans Parade. And children as well. It's awesome to see so many kids out here along the parade route. Again, celebrating our veterans and understanding their history and their sacrifices.
Look at this, the Idaho Military Vehicle Preservation Association coming down the parade route with some cool old-fashioned vehicles. Carson, tell us about these.
Yeah, these guys are great. They come out and support our air show every year. We just had our 22nd Warbird Roundup, largest historical gathering of warbirds, and the Idaho Military Vehicles Association is a great group of folks that takes a ton of pride in acquiring and preserving and restoring these World War II era vehicles. A lot of Jeep enthusiasts. You see a couple Humvees coming up. This one's a M9 or 8 set up for medical recovery. Not a very comfortable vehicle to ride in. Pretty similar to what we had in Iraq, not up armored, so you can just see canvas and soft skin doors, so IED would easily penetrate those vehicles.
My goodness, we are learning so much from you, Carson. Your insight is so valuable because a lot of people don't know the history of these vehicles, and you've got all the information for us today. We
Maggie, when you asked him, it's like, tell us about these, it's like, he's not gonna know. You knew everything.
He does. He knows.
Well, I'm surrounded by World War II history buffs. They say when you turn 40, you either get into smoking meat or World War II history. So I clearly am not a chef, and I've gone the other route, and
yes,
I'm happy to be doing it.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that is incredible. What do we have in front of us right here?
This tractor actually wouldn't start at our Warbird Roundup, and they hooked a rig up to it, and he popped the clutch and jump-started it, and then he sped along. So fantastic. 1940s era tractor.
Wow, and it's been running ever since.
It's been running. That thing actually moves pretty quick. It's got some speed.
Cool. Yeah, it does have pretty good speed on it. Absolutely.
This is Bruce Gates coming up. He does a lot for the museum. He actually started the parade off with the Grand Marshal. Hi, Bruce. Good to see you.
Aww.
Very patriotic man right there.
Fantastic. Oh, and we have some, what are those tank treads on this one? Following up this
here's
other
the
Humvee?
Warhawk. That's Becky Hager, the general manager, and Harvey, one of our volunteers, and Maddie, she works in our gift shop, driving in a Humvee. Good to see you guys, Warhawk Air Museum.
And Joe's going to learn a little bit more about the Warhawk right now. Joe, who you got?
Yes, okay. I'm actually standing by with one of the volunteers at the museum. Tell me where you're from and why you do this.
Originally from the Netherlands. That's where I grew up during the Second World War. And I talk about my experiences during that war in the Warhawk Museum.
For folks that haven't been out to the Warhawk, what's out there? What can you see?
You see a lot of airplanes, but you see a lot of history. It is a museum based on education, what has happened in the past and what kind of price we paid for our freedom. And that's the basic goal of the museum, that we understand that.
Well, thanks for what you guys do. Yes, you got to go visit them out in Nampa. It is a great place, as you guys have talked about. We'll send it back to you.
So Carson, you have 40,000 square feet of military airplanes, equipment, thousands of personal collections honoring the men and women who have served our military. If you have not been to the Warhawk Air Museum, you have to go. Remind our viewers where it is.
We're at 201 Municipal Drive, right there by the airport. Take the Garrity exit.
Yes.
It's just a quick 15, 20-minute drive from here, depending on traffic, but it will be worth the trip out there.
Yes, depending on traffic. Don't take it during the commute.
Come out around 10 or 11. You'll get there no problem.
There you go. And again, personal stories. A ton of great personal stories out there. There's Perry Pat McCormick rolling by, a Marine Corps Vietnam veteran, another Vietnam veteran out here.
It's so wonderful to be able to wave and thank all these veterans who are coming down the parade route. This is Bob Hall from the U.S. Army. He's also a Vietnam veteran from 1968. I mean,
thank you so
the
much
cars just keep on coming, and it's such a special time to say thank you. And I know each and every one of these men and women feel valued and loved today, Carson.
Welcome home to our Vietnam era veterans. Absolutely.
Boy,
what they did was
they deserve
so
this
impressive.
welcome home.
Yeah.
Yes, they
and
do.
even more. There's another Korean War veteran, PFC
Tom
medic
Fisher.
Tom Fisher.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much,
Look
Tom,
at these.
for your service. A lot of those cars that you just saw, part of the early Ford V8 Club. Oh, those are rolling by us right now here as well. Ken Renninger, U.S. Navy veteran.
Thank you for your service, Ken. 1959 to 1974.
Pat Bryant served in the U.S. Navy from 59 to 62. He's in an old Ford. That's a gorgeous vehicle and a great man right there. Mark Durrell, Navy veteran from 66 to 88. Goodness gracious.
Jake Pando from the U.S. Army coming by in that truck right now. We thank him for his service as well. He served in Vietnam as well. Welcome home to Jake Pando.
That is a very old vehicle. They're cranking the horn. You used to have to wind those apparently instead of just laying on it.
It'll make them like they used to.
And Dave Allen, an Operational Rocky Freedom veteran, 2 tours to Korea also in there. That's incredible. Again, it's so important to remember our veterans from wars past, Korea, but also Rocky Freedom here just a couple of decades ago.
Where you served, Carson, tell us about your service.
Yeah, the Global War on Terror was our nation's longest war, so it was really Iraq and it was Afghanistan. I was in Iraq in Operation Iraqi Freedom 2 from 04 to 05. So there was the initial assault, there was kind of the year of occupation, and then when we got there, it was really when the terrorists started with the IEDs. That was our biggest threat at that time. While we attempted to rebuild infrastructure and take care of the people that were very grateful that the Americans were there. Saddam did some horrible things, so they were very appreciative of us being there and
when you look back on that service, just how proud are you to have been able to have that opportunity to serve?
It was my greatest honor. It really was.
Well, we
Fantastic.
thank you for it, Carson.
Also honored the Code 3-1 retired law enforcement officers of Idaho. They're a sponsor of this parade as well. Of course, they know Carson. He seems to know everybody along this parade route. Served both in the U.S. military and then as law enforcement officers in your community. Seen a lot of those folks here today. More of the Idaho Veterans Parade after this.
You are watching the Idaho Veterans Parade, sponsored by Albertsons.
All right, we're looking at the Go Team Therapy and Crisis Dogs. These dogs are so incredibly valuable to our veterans and anyone else in crisis in our community. They are just amazing. Carson, have you been able to witness them visiting our veterans?
Yeah, they're always welcome out at the Warhawk, and it's common to see veterans have these dogs, and they really do make a world of difference for them.
That is incredible. Yeah, the old saying is, of course they know Maggie. Aye,
they're so
that we don't
comforting.
deserve dogs. Yeah, very comforting.
I mean, these dogs and their handlers, they will go anywhere. They went to the fires this summer. They go to see our fire department and anyone suffering from PTSD, in law enforcement, our first responders, our veterans. And there's just something about a fluffy, cuddly dog that makes everything seem like it's going to be okay for that hour that you're visiting with them. And so thank you to Go Team Therapy and Crisis Dogs for everything you do for our community.
Really important. Nothing like puppy therapy. Look at that floofy dog.
Aww.
Right there. Awesome. And they're also well behaved.
They
Much
are.
better behaved than mine. I need to know their secret. Probably training and not just treating them at every turn.
And they put in hours of training to become certified to do this work, because it really is work. It's the work they love, but it's important work, and it's tender work, and they do put those hours of training in.
And that one was tired. He decided to just take a ride
Yes.
on that ATV. Up next, Valley Regional Transit electric bus. They're here with one of its 12 battery-powered electric buses. They say they're demonstrating their commitment to the city of Boise's climate goals. They're emission-free. They clear the air. They say they offer whisper quiet rides as well all over the city. Somebody yelling something at me. I can't hear them.
They're telling us we should jump on the bus.
We're
maybe
in the
later.
I'm literally doing my job right now, but I appreciate the offer. Thank you so much for that.
Oh, what a nice offer.
There's
Treasure Valley Rodeo royalty coming down the parade route right now. You see these young ladies in the back of that truck riding along there. These are the rodeo queens and ambassadors of the Meridian Lions, PRCA Rodeo, and the local Meridian Lions. So congratulations, ladies. They like to volunteer with Rake Up Idaho, Rake Up Meridian, hunger prevention, youth development, all kinds of things.
Let's go to Joe now with Miss Idaho.
Yes, this is Mrs. Idaho, Lisa Stover, 2024. What brings you out here today?
Well, to thank our veterans and our service members. My husband is currently deployed for the Idaho Army National Guard, so it's an honor to be here to say thank you.
And thank you for his service on behalf of our whole community. For you, as a military family, what's it mean to see these people lining the streets to cheer on the veterans and have everyone watching this at home?
Well, it's an honor to see our community come together. Our military community is amazing and incredible, and the strength and resilience in it. So it's an honor just to see the support in the community, but also to be a part of the military community and kind of be that bridge. So it's just an honor. So.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Idaho, Lisa Stover. Have a good one. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Joe. A proud wife to an Army National Guardsman who is deployed, as she mentioned, and a police officer. We thank him for his service, and we thank Lisa and her family for their sacrifice.
That is awesome. Kylie Welch rolling by us now, National Miss Royalty voice for autism. You've talked to Kylie on a number of occasions.
I have. She's been a 7-0. She is incredible. Up next, we have the Idaho Civil War volunteers coming down the parade route. Here they are.
They're a group of educational volunteers who are passionate about history and eager to share their knowledge with the public. The Idaho Civil War volunteers provide Civil War educational programs throughout southern Idaho at a number of events during the year. Idaho became a territory, of course, during the Civil War in an effort to try to fund the Union Army there, something I learned talking to groups just like this and learning about history.
And so they are definitely represented today, aren't they?
Yes, yes. And good for those ladies right there. I would be riding those horses. They're giving them a break. They're walking along the side. And again, we heard a little bit about there from Mrs. Idaho, sort of how important the people here at home during deployments are, Carson. Can you talk about that, some of those stories?
Those care packages, they mean the world to us when we're deployed. Homemade chocolate chip cookies, socks, magazines, letters from home, so important. So if you have someone deployed, send them a package, send them a letter. All you want to know when you're deployed is what's going on back at home.
We saw the Armada Rhythm Cadets rolling by us.
Yes, they are. A nonprofit organization furthering education in the marching arts. They have classes and performance opportunities for people in the color guard and percussion for anyone 5 through 24.
And now the St. Vincent Food Bank. St. Vincent de Paul with support from the Idaho Food Bank. They are here. They support active and veterans from the grounds of the Boise VA Hospital, provide food and household necessities for our veterans. So important. The veterans here back at home struggling a little bit, they can count on St. Vincent Food Bank and the Idaho Food Bank to help them out when they need that support the most.
Yeah, Carson, tell us about the need of our veterans. There's so many veterans in need, and there are so many wonderful resources for them to get the help they need.
Yeah, we're lucky again in Idaho. There's so many do-gooders out in the community that are constantly. My aunt and my mother-in-law yesterday were actually taking a huge carload of cans to that food bank. So It's wonderful and hugely needed and greatly appreciated.
Boise Bench Lions coming down the parade route. There's a big lion. Might be a hint, right?
What?
They are the largest worldwide community humanitarian service organization. They've been voted by the international newspaper Financial Times as the best managed organization. They serve over 200 countries, and all of the money raised goes back into the community. Here are the Boise Bench Lions.
You said there's a lion, and I didn't see the broadcast camera, so I'm like, I'm sorry? I don't think that's responsible. I don't think these dogs along the parade route are going to like that. But no, they're getting along just fine with this particular lion, these particular lions.
They look warm, at least.
That's right, yeah. Good for them. Yeah, those gloves certainly helping out. And there's the, Lions gloves again, supporting our veterans. They do great work here in the community.
And tell us about this coffee greeting or gathering that you guys have over at the Warhawk Air Museum.
Yeah, it's the Kilroy Coffee Klatch. It's the first Tuesday of every month, completely free for veterans, and it's become the largest monthly gathering of veterans in the state of Idaho, and it's something I look forward to every month because we have a different guest speaker rotate every month, and it's fascinating stories of a guy that flew a Huey in Vietnam or someone that was a chopper pilot in the Coast Guard, and you just get to learn and have that coffee and camaraderie.
And that's coming up this Tuesday.
This Tuesday.
Election Day, so after you vote, maybe head on over.
Swing on by. We'd love to have you.
And say thank you to some of our veterans as well.
That's incredible, sharing different stories sort of throughout time from different wars, different conflicts, but really there's one thing uniting you all, just service to this country. That is really cool to hear.
There's the big old potato. That's the Idaho potato drop. Is that the actual potato they drop? I don't know. But
I think so. That is it.
We're glad to see them here. Since 2013, they are Idaho's signature holiday event, bringing smiles to faces at home and across the globe. People are talking about this potato everywhere on New Year's Eve, all over national TV, internationally as well. And they say thank you to our veterans.
Up next, another great sponsor of the Idaho Veterans Parade, Idaho Central Credit Union. They say the most important thing to them is helping our members succeed. They say they're here to help you with a full range of both personal and business financial services. And again, proud sponsor of the Idaho Veterans Parade, supporting this parade and raising awareness about all the things the veterans do, continue to serve here in our community.
And right now, we're going to take a quick commercial break. That beautiful flag there hanging from the sky in the background. We will be right back with the Idaho Veterans Parade.
Welcome back to the Idaho Veterans Parade here in downtown Boise. You're looking live at Knife River Ready Mix. They say they honor our veterans on this Veterans Day almost and recognize the 20th anniversary of the 116th Cavalry deployment in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom. Carson, can you believe it's been 20 years?
You know, it seems like yesterday that we went on that deployment, and it seemed like forever when you were gone, and it was so nice to get back home to friends and family. But yeah, it went fast, and it's great to see those men and women that served. You know, many of them were lieutenants like me, or E1s and E2s, and now they're E8s and E9s and colonels and generals. So it was 20 years ago.
So continuing to serve. And
coming down the parade route right now, Ron Coit, a U.S. Navy veteran from Vietnam. Welcome home, Ron. And we also have the Metro Express Car Wash, another sponsor. We cannot do this without our wonderful sponsors. And they are saying thank you, veterans, remembering and honoring those we've lost and those who have served.
I can only assume that was Metro Man. Yes, coming up next here, Twisted Vixen's Off-Road Club. They say a vixen is an adventurous female who prefers the road less traveled. No doubt a number of veterans part of this group rolling by. Maggie, you drive one of these, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
I know. I don't, but I'd like to.
All right, well, maybe if you ask nice, yeah. That one proudly proclaiming they're a wife of a U.S. Army veteran. Fantastic. Certainly wives of veterans, sisters of veterans, veterans themselves in this group. See them at a lot of parades. This is incredible. This is about as clean as you're ever going to see these 4x4s, I can tell you. They like to get up into those mountains and those hills.
They have their American flags on them. They are so patriotic, and we appreciate them being a part of the parade today. I just love the turnout of the families along the parade route, the kids waving American flags. This is what it's all about, Carson.
Absolutely. Love it. My kids, Ainsley and Jackson, and my wife Erin are watching from home, and they're sending me text messages, and what a great day.
Thank goodness you got that shout out in. They were going to be mad at you probably if you did.
It's so important, though, to bring our kids to events like this so they can truly see the history of our country going down a parade route right in front of them. It is such a special opportunity, and we're so grateful for all of our sponsors who are making this possible today.
We just had Fred Webb drive by in the Corvette. He sang the national anthem this morning, commander of American Legion Post 39. He runs a tight ship and does a lot for the community.
Well, he, sang that beautifully as well. Horizon Credit Union rolling by. And next up, we have Veolia, Idaho. Their municipal water operations proudly providing clean, safe drinking water to customers in Ada County. And again, another proud sponsor of the Idaho Veterans Parade. Thank you for your sponsorship. Couldn't do it without you. There they are rolling by. A lot of them dressed for the rain. Thank goodness we didn't see that here.
I know, we are so
today.
fortunate. Like I said, we couldn't have asked for better weather. It's dry. It might be a little chilly, but it's not that cold. And, you know, everyone's just enjoying themselves. If you look down the parade route right now, you can see just how many people there are still to come. And we have the Mountain Home High School Marching Tigers coming down the parade route. They made the trip from Mountain Home to Boise. We appreciate that. We should listen in to what they have to say. Making their way down the parade route. The mission of Girl Scouting is to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. And here they come. Look at all these lovely girls and young ladies coming down the parade route, thanking our veterans.
Yeah, and producing young women of courage, confidence, and character. Certainly some future service members there and veterans looking to proudly serve our country, probably in the future. Families of veterans, you see some of those signs there. American flags, really cool to see. Well, they already have the marching down, if nothing else, followed by the Cub Scouts as well. Thanking our veterans, thanking them for their service. Thank you.
We also have the American Heritage Girls Troop as well in the mix here.
A lot of different troops, a lot of different scouts out here today, thanking our veterans.
Aw, look at that. I love seeing the kids along the parade route with these American flags.
Pack 97 proudly represented.
Wonderful to see.
Boy, and just a great day, great parade.
It has just been a fantastic day. And Carson, we appreciate you being here with us. I want to talk a little bit more about the Warhawk Air Museum as we wrap up the parade and just how it's there for you to learn about all of this and to teach your children and grandchildren about all of this. Remind our viewers about that.
Yeah, the Warhawk just celebrated our 35th anniversary. We've got so many new things to see out there. If you're an educator or a parent, bring your kids out. Come and see us. It'll be worth the trip out there. And then the new expansion happening, an action-packed calendar of events. It's all online, warhawkairmuseum.org. Please check us out. We'd love to have you out.
Boy, and y'all accept donations?
Absolutely. We are a 501c3,
Nice.
Really the first museum of its kind, fully funded, non-governmental, totally by the goodwill of the community. That's how we operate out there, and we're so grateful.
Well, thank you everyone who has donated and just created an incredible museum out there, Carson.
Yeah, so
Really
many of our
appreciate it.
sponsors, the Nagle Foundation, Kendall Auto sponsors our track vehicles and our Warbirds. Wells Fargo, ICCU, many of the people out here help support the museum, and we are truly appreciative.
Well, we're grateful to have you and have the museum here for all of us, and really what a spectacular and beautiful day it has been this morning, honoring our veterans. Veterans Day coming up, and this is the Idaho Veterans Parade. Thank you for your service.